so loud. That is so loud. Okay, let's see here. All right. Let's see if we have this. I think I might be finally squared away for normally doing this. Let's see. Butch Escobar. Let's go to fucking there I am. Okay. Oh, that's me. Whoa, that's so fucking right. What up, everybody? By the way, hello. We're still waiting to start the podcast, so it's not happening yet. It's almost there. We're just waiting on DNA, and we're about 5 minutes early. So I just want to say what's up to everybody who's watching. Fucking thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming in. Um, thanks for supporting us. I mean, in any way possible. It's nice to get Venmo, but it's, and a little cash every now and then, but it's nice. But what's most important is that, you know, we are being watched, and that is most important to me. Let's see, where's my channel here? There's my videos, and that is not what I'm looking for. Let's see if I could fucking. Oh man, I need to open up a window over here. Is that oh wow. We are being watched. Okay. All right. Let's see here. What's going on? What up, Mr. Fabulous? Over there on Twitch. What is happening, my brother? How are you today? How's it going? How are you feeling? Shout out to John Reinhardt for fucking giving up some love over there. What up, man? How you doing, John? Big John from fucking Santa Cruz. Okay, let me go open a window real quick. And DNA should be joining us any moment here. And we're going to get the fucking shit started. But it is hot as fucking here for some reason. Okay. I'm back. Let me go over to Facebook. Doing great. Good to see you. Hey, good to see your handsome face, my brother. I hope you're well. I hope everybody's doing well today. I fucking I feel good. I'm happy. Tired. I only got about 5 hours sleep because I ended up playing video games till way too early in the morning, and so that's a consequence to to that. Is now I'm tired, and I don't want to suck down any caffeine because I'm trying not to. I don't know. I mean, I had caffeine already. I had like some coffee, but that's the most I'll do. Like, I'll have like a coffee in the morning, wake me up. If I feel like taking a nap, maybe I'll take a nap. I am not playing anything right now. Right now we're going to do the podcast with DNA as soon as he comes in here. But typically, what I'm playing. Oh, what video games was I playing last night? I was just talking about playing video games. I am playing Sea of Thieves. Have you ever played that before? It's a multiplayer open world. Um, and it's a pirate game. Basically, you float around on a ship and you dig up treasure, and hopefully you get to turn it in before a bunch of 12-year-old kids come and fucking beat the crap out of you and take all your treasure from you. And there's times where it's glorious and fun because you're like, yeah, I'm fucking killing it at this game. And then there's times where it's just so depressing because you worked for 3-4 hours just grinding, getting treasure, and like I said, some fucking 12-year-old will come along and just fucking knock you right off the boat. Dude, it is a fun game, bro. And I feel, dude, play with me anytime you want, John. I don't know if we're friends on Xbox. If we are, let me know what your gamer tag is. I'm sure you have before. But, dude, if you play this game with me, I would love it so much. Because I have no friends who play that game with me. I only have uh, people that I've met on servers. But for some reason, my real life friends that I know in real life uh don't play the game. I don't know what it is. Like I've asked, I'm pretty sure you're part of the comedians who play video games thing on Facebook, the network group that we have. If not, I'll definitely add you. But I've asked several times other comics if they play Sea of Thieves, and nobody says anything. And I think one guy did out of like San Francisco, but I don't even think he's a comic anymore. And man, I love that game, and I would love someone to play with that I know in real life. Like I said, I have friends who play it, but it would be cool to actually have some like real friends. I don't know why, but it would. Let me open this door too. So yeah, let me know if you want to play. Jello Riley. Everyone knows morning coffee doesn't help, doesn't count. Morning, like I'm feeling bad. I'm convinced video games will be your ultimate downfall, if only because you have so many fucking issues trying to play them. Like, well, yeah, you're probably you're probably right, bro. Video games will be my downfall. But I love video games. Um, yeah, that's the thing is I was trying to play online last night, and for some reason Twitch couldn't even pick up my fucking feed. And I was uh like I was so bummed, dude, because I'm having a lot of fun playing Sea of Thieves again. But I don't know, man. Maybe it's really boring to people to watch. So I don't I don't, you know, I don't know. I don't know, man. I try to entertain everybody, but some people are like, this fucking sucks, Butch. It's not fun watching you, you know? You're not good at video games. Why do you even try? Why do you even try? Where the fuck is DNA? Twitch was working like shit last night. Can confirm. Okay. Yeah, cuz I tried to I was on a really good mission yesterday, and like I had a really good crew, and this one dude was like, "Hey, you guys mind if I stream?" And I'm like, "I don't mind if you stream if you guys don't mind that I stream." And everybody was like, "No, stream away." And he was able to get it up. I wasn't able to get it up. So, that sounded weird. That sounded fucking weird. Let's let DNA come in. Okay, here he is. All right.
Hey,
Good morning.
morning.
It
Good
says
morning. Stay calm.
stay calm.
I'm
Let me get a
gonna
level
change
check
that.
on you here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Give me some
What
levels
else
here.
do I got? What else do I got? I
Okay,
got
there we go. There we go. That's good. That's perfect. Look at that. I
now.
like that background.
You like this one?
Not so much. You know, just
No.
that one's a trigger warning right there. Yeah, that one's like, you're gonna be homeless one day, Butch. That's what that says right there. You're gonna be homeless one day.
I live under a bridge.
Okay, that's good. And then let me queue up the let me queue up the thing here. What am I doing? Jello Riley. Butch dies to Goomba in level 1 rage aneurysm. Thanks, Jello Riley. I was on for a little bit early, so I have a couple of people watching here. Okay, let me look for the fucking I should always have the music ready to go, right?
Yeah.
You would think, one would think, uh, Butch, are you doing everything right? And I could easily say, no, no, I'm not. I'm not doing anything right. I did,
Oh,
I did at one
let's
point.
see.
I had it all ready to go. I usually do, but then all of a sudden it's like, nah, I didn't have it all ready to go. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Is it this one? Is it? Oh, let's go to downloads. Maybe it's in downloads. Uh, okay, give me a second here. Oh, new follower. Beep beep beep. Oh wait, here we go. Yeah, here, new follower. Here we go. Ready for the new follower
Yeah,
alert? Are you
I'm
ready
ready.
for it?
Yeah.
Super cassette.
Heck
Beer,
yeah.
beer, beer, beer. Thanks for the follow, Super Cassette. I appreciate it. I love the love. I love the love.
He loves love.
I love love. You know, that's the thing, man. Is I'm like a fucking dog, bro. You just pat me on the head and I'm happy with that. I don't need much more than that.
Me neither.
You know, people some people more complicated. They're like, why aren't you talking to me? You know, why aren't you paying attention to me? And not
Yeah,
me.
I need very little encouragement. A little goes a long way.
Yeah, a little goes a long way. Little goes a long way. All right, let me see if I could.
This isn't working.
This isn't working. This is not working. Why the fuck? Dude, I have to go to my. Okay, now I have to go to my inbox, and then I have to pull the original file
Good thing we're
because.
not live yet.
Yeah, we are live actually.
Ah!
Yeah, sorry, we've been live.
No,
Um,
I got it. I'm watching
oh,
on Twitch, Facebook. If you're out there, hello.
okay, maybe that's not it. Is that it? I don't want to like play the wrong one. Uh, oh yeah, this is it. This is the shortened theme. Okay,
Super
let's.
cassette. Nice.
Okay, Butch podcast. I think it's the second one here. How come it won't open? Oh my god, Butch, get your shit together. Download those two things. Okay, here we go.
Here
Okay,
we go, guys.
okay,
Here we go.
here we go. Are we ready to start the podcast, DNA?
Oh, yeah, this isn't working.
This isn't working. That's not working either. You know what? It's not working.
No theme song today.
No theme song. This isn't working, bro. This is literally not working because also I need to record
Yeah.
and then I need to share this music with you. Hold on, let's see. Advance music, share. Come on, you fucking Neanderthal. Here we go. Oh wait, here we go. Okay,
Ah.
okay. All right, we got it. We got it. Okay, ready? Cue the music. I always do that. I can't help it. I even had my finger hovering over the thing, and it like
God.
I like my digital finger hovering over the pause button.
That's
Uh,
delightful. That's Nate Spears?
that's Nate Spears who made that.
All right. Thanks,
Super
Nate.
cassette. Yo, this is wild. I was literally just talking to my wife about catching you and a few other Oakland comics just before the pandemic. This popped up on my YouTube feed and I was like, shit. Well, thank you, Super Cassette, for being
Yeah,
here.
thank you.
And shit, the world's turning back on again, whether we like it or not. So come catch us at a show.
Yeah, yeah.
Flowers got notification last night, got to on no stream. Yeah, I did try to stream last night. I was streaming some Sea of Thieves. The shit didn't work. I don't know what to fucking tell you. I'm going to try one more time tonight to stream Sea of Thieves. I don't know what it is with that video game and streaming. It
All
just doesn't
right.
seem to work. It's very difficult. But today, right now, we are doing our podcast. This isn't working. Not this is not working.
Yeah, no, this isn't working.
This is not working is like what you say to your girlfriend, and this isn't
Yeah.
working is what you say to your therapist.
Yeah. honey, honey, this is not working. Yeah, yeah, that's what you would say.
Yeah, but
And
this
you run out of the therapist office and cry in your car. You're like, this isn't working.
yeah, that's
Yeah, it's a
exactly this.
contraction.
How's therapy? This isn't working. It's not.
Yeah.
Geez.
Yeah, we were talking about that last night.
Yeah, dude.
That's the thing, therapists are like plumbers. They're not all the great, you know. Your sink is leaking. You pay this plumber, $100 an hour. He leaves. Your sink is still leaking. Same with therapists.
Well, the thing is it's like the plumber's like, I'm gonna work on your sink 1 hour a week,
Yeah.
and it's gonna take me a whole hour to turn one nut. You know, to just to wrench one nut in a.
Yeah.
Okay, I did a 360-degree turn. I'm gonna go ahead and take off. I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully the leak doesn't get worse. Hopefully your fucking house doesn't flood, and you fucking lose everything, and then you go fucking to the Golden Gate Bridge behind DNA and
Yeah.
fucking leap the fuck off of it.
Yeah.
What up, Cotton Brosif in the fucking house? By the way, Jonathan Reinhardt in the house saying DNA looking fucking suave, baby. He really is. He really is.
Yeah.
He looks
Got the
good today.
new,
He looks a little happier now that he's not on vacation.
Well, yeah, and we, last week I was saying how I've been really depressed, and then I got a couple of shows, and I was so excited to start working on dick jokes, and then the first show, whatever, and the second show, a guy threatened to kick my ass, and I was like, comedy's back, like I'm
Comedy's
back.
baby. Was this the Hook Outlet show?
Yes, that was a lot of fun. You did that the last time.
Yeah,
Chad
that was
headlined.
so much fun.
Yeah,
Shout out to the Hook Outlet. Let them know I got mad love
Yeah.
for them. That
Yeah,
is
Hook
my
Outlet
favorite
dispensary.
dispensary in the whole wide world.
Yeah,
Hook
they're the
Outlet
Ross outlet. They're the grocery outlet of weed
of weed
stores.
stores.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great if you're in the Santa Cruz area, which 90% of my people on fucking Twitch aren't. 99.99% of my Twitch audience isn't. But if you do make your way to the
Hey, if
beautiful
you ever
city of
make it
Santa
to
Cruz,
the,
it
if
is.
we're ever allowed to travel again,
I'm not
come
even kidding
along.
you, bro. It is a great. This is not a plug. This is not because I'm not paid by them, even though they do give me free product every now and then.
Yeah,
They're just an absolutely wonderful group of people, and the owners are like magicians or something, aren't they?
yeah. They do magic with me every Wednesday night on our Zoom show, Blind Tiger, and it just shows you, like, what if you've been kind of paying attention for the last 5 years, there's a huge difference between like corporate brand and, basically your mom and pop, or in this case, two magicians who,
Totally.
it's these local stores, the local flavor, that you really should be supporting. I mean, it's hard to get off that Amazon, free shipping. It'll be here in a
next
day.
day
I don't have to
shipping.
leave my house.
Dude, I've literally had shit like ordered something in the morning and then gotten it at night.
It's
And
crazy.
and that's the thing is, you know what, man? I don't even think Amazon's about getting things like as far as like things you need.
Yeah.
It's more about opening that. I know what I'm getting tomorrow. I know what I'm
Yeah.
getting. I ordered a fucking butcher knife and I ordered some fucking napkins.
Yeah.
and I'm still excited to open packages tomorrow.
Yeah. They
Like,
get us like that.
yeah, they
They
get
they
us like that,
that
and
little almost like Christmas. You feel like you're getting something, but you paid for it. And
the problem with weed is it's not big enough boxes. You get this, you order it, it comes as like a guy pulls up in his car and he's like, "Butch, I got your order outside," and then come out and it's a little bag, you know. But I mean, it has a powerful punch, so
yeah.
But yeah,
But the money you throw to Jeff Bezos, that just disappears into his rocket ship that he's going to go to Mars in.
he's
But
not buying no weed with it.
well, yeah, not just weed. I jumped the train on what you order, but like the mom and pop stores, the little stores, man. Ugh, it's just such a tough time. Seek them out. Your little bars, your little restaurants. Your local comedians. Go local, man. That's like that. That's part of the cure of the problem. We just give our money to these people that don't give a hoot about us. How is that self-care? But I get it. It's convenience, to order from Amazon. So convenient, but convenience, man, slides into like, fascism.
Right.
So you support the local stores. I mean, who
And
knows
I
what?
really do think convenience falls into fascism, and I've been saying that this whole time. Like, everybody was talking about revolution over the fucking pandemic and the fucking George Floyd thing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
here's the deal, you guys. Um, I will say this. First of all, we don't want a revolution because right now all the fucking assholes have guns and all the non-assholes don't. So that's a thing. Okay? But what stops the assholes from shooting all the fucking non-assholes is um if we have a revolution, we lose infrastructure. And
Mm,
infrastructure is comfort. Okay?
yeah.
You're not going to get pizza deliveries anymore during a revolution. You're not going to
No.
have fucking the heater turned on during the revolution. You're
Damn
not
it.
going to get fucking your fucking spatula delivered to your fucking front doorstep tomorrow morning so you could cook fucking eggs, corned beef, and hash with
Yeah.
fucking a little chili fucking a little fucking mango shootney on the side
Oh, dude, the
during
mango.
during a fucking revolution.
Yeah.
Nobody wants a revolution, not for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Nobody wants a revolution because it would take you to get off your fucking ass and go fucking
Yeah.
fight. And
Yeah.
Americans are not ready for that. So
Yeah.
what America does is it dangles a little piece every once in a while and goes, "Hey, see, this is a little bit more of your freedom, but this is a lot of fucking strife if you're gonna fight for this little bit of freedom. So we're just gonna
Yeah.
take a little chunk at a time
Yeah.
and challenge you with fucking cops and military and fucking more restriction and more laws. And then
Yeah.
before you know it, man, you're sitting there like going, "All right, I'll do whatever you want me to." I'm guilty of this too.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I was 19, 20, my college years, I was going to fucking I was going to all these activist meetings, I was going to Chicano activist meetings, I was going to fucking Black Guru meetings, and I was like fucking like I was active and ready to fight a revolution. But I'm fat and addicted to fucking GMO fucking based fucking products, and I love Netflix, and I love playing. That's the thing. No online video games in the revolution, and
Yeah.
that was it for me. That's when I was like, all right, fucking, let me bend over. And take Uncle Sam's big fucking dick up my ass so I can keep playing
And
video.
Sam has a
Like as
big
long as
dick.
I could as long as I could do this while I'm bent over, like I'm like
Yeah.
this. Thank you. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Maybe spit on it. Maybe just spit on it a little more.
Playing Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
Well,
let me
I
get
mean,
that.
the thing is like authoritarian constraint and some of the stuff we've seen over the last 5 years, especially, the main way of keeping people down is they chain your brain.
Yep.
Like the revolution that's happening is internal. The people, before Trump, if you remember, like everyone's like, it was so important to be woke. And that was kind of like at the, beginnings of cancel culture. It was like,
Yeah.
you had to be a woke person. And then Trump happened and it was like, I'm too woke. I don't want to know all this.
Right.
Being woke has a lot of responsibility to it because now I know all about this stuff and I can't go back and I can't shut it off.
Right. Well,
And
yeah.
so like, I don't want to call him out, but I've been watching this guy lately who every time he sees a documentary, it's like his mind is blown, and he's like, I can't say too many details, but he's like, I see him evolving. You can't
Right.
have revolution without evolution. And I understand what you're saying, but I think that there is a way to change things without destroying the infrastructure. Because like, even if like they shut down my town, we'll fix the road. I'll put some tar in the pothole. There's plumbers.
Right.
We have water. Like, I don't know. Maybe we do lose the grid. Maybe that will be something that will happen.
Well, you certainly do, and that's the thing, man. Is like I'll tell you what going back to what you said. By the way, Jello Riley, Sea of Thieves, not Minecraft. But I will say this: going back to what you said about like your friend watching a documentary and having his
Yeah,
mind blown, and being too woke. This is coming from someone myself who wasn't woke maybe 4 or 5 years ago, or quote unquote woke. Like I didn't, and I knew about things. I knew about social issues. My parents are very liberal, and
yeah, they are.
they marched with Cesar Chavez, and they were activists. And but for me, I was like, I don't want politics. I don't want any of that divisive stuff. I don't want to know what white people do wrong because we live in a white neighborhood,
Yeah,
and my friends are white. Like I don't want to be a part of that. And so I closed myself off to it, and I didn't want to know how badly women were treated because I wanted to fuck them all the time, and I didn't want to have to deal with like feeling guilty, and that's the thing, man. Is now that I have been awakened, and I guess that's where that term comes from, because I did watch a couple documentaries, then I started reading books, and then I
yeah,
met I met the love of my life who has uh has herself struggled as a woman, and who pointed out many things to me amongst women and minorities that I was missing among social issues, and I was and the thing is, and this is why this is such an important issue, mental health, and this podcast is definitely directing itself at that issue, is
right.
that once you start to know, you can't go back. I read in a there's this book I love to read. It's called The Way of the Peaceful Warrior, and it's
Hmm.
about a guy who's an Olympic gymnast, and he's going to Berkeley, and he meets this fucking guru who works at a gas station, and the
Oh,
guru,
I read that.
yeah,
He meets Socrates, right?
Socrates, yes,
Yeah,
and and
great book.
it's a
That book helped me a lot when
that
I was
that that book has
a kid.
changed my life. Like
Oh,
that,
interesting.
like when we're talking about the last 4 years and the
Yeah.
change that I've made, that book is a humongous part of it.
Oh, wow.
And
I didn't know that.
one of the things is, well, my mom had recommended it when I was
Is
younger.
it we should look it up. Is it Dan Millman?
Dan Millman is the one who
Yeah.
wrote it. So my mom recommended it to me. She bought me the audiobook because she knows I'm fucking feeble minded and I have a smooth brain. And so she gave me this CD stack. And as soon as she got out of my car, I'm not even kidding, I was throwing the CDs out the window as I was driving down the road, because
What a punk.
I don't need this self help bullshit. The fuck is my
Yeah.
mom? I'm good where I'm at. And then years later, as I'm trying to seek self help, one of the things my girlfriend had recommended was this book called The Way of the Peaceful Warrior. So I am a believer of great omens happen all the time in your life. Every few seconds, there's an omen, and that was one of them. And so I went and I got the book, and it changed my life. But one of the things that I was pointing out was is that he's teaching Dan, who's the main character, the writer's the main character of the book. Socrates is his guru, and he's his mind is basically his mindfulness guru.
Right.
And he
He's
starts
like, he works at a gas station.
right, and he works at a gas station, and this kid's like goes to Berkeley, and he's like, "What the fuck can you teach me? You work at a gas station. I'm an Olympic athlete going to Berkeley." And what he finds out is that he has a lot to learn. And one of the things that Socrates warns Dan about halfway through teaching him is that, because Dan finds that now that he knows a lot, it's more complicated to him. Life is more scary because he understands these things, and he's like, you're only halfway. You've only learned these things. You need to now learn to deal with them. But
Hmm.
but one thing you cannot do, and I tell people this all the time, is you can't go backwards. Once you know,
Hmm.
like, bro, I want to go back to being a fucking piece of shit, fucking womanizing,
Oh yeah.
fucking like bigoted asshole, because it's so much easier. I want to go back to being a hateful person because
Mm.
it's so much easier, especially in this fucked up world.
Hmm.
But you can't. The problem is you can't unknow things. Like once you learn something, you can't unknow it. So how do you deal with that? How do you deal with the suffering of that? How do you vibrate positively? Which is the whole goal of this podcast is to speak of vibrating positively. How do you vibrate positively now that you're halfway through this, or all this stuff? You
Right. Well,
know?
I mean, that's, the path to self-discovery is kind of tricky, or else it'd just be like a planet of Buddhas walking around, and part of the, trick is there's so many distractions. So like you watch a documentary about, the way they treat, chickens, and you're like, oh my God, that's disgusting. I can't eat chicken anymore,
Right.
and you kind of shed a layer. And but you can get really caught up in not eating chicken. I mean, have you ever met an annoying vegan? I mean, and
Yeah.
not to shit on vegans, like I'm vegan a lot most of my life,
Right.
but it's like you just get caught up in the thing. It's like, yeah, maybe what I'm into is a good thing, but like to proselytize it and stand on a soapbox and make everybody around you feel bad about it, you're just as worse as anybody else with your knowledge. Because it's not about that.
Right.
It's about constantly evolving within yourself and getting to that point. You know what the point is? Where you don't hate yourself anymore.
Right.
Where you can like, and look, if you're out there and you have really good self-confidence, and good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ever meet those people with the self-confidence? I'm always like, oh God. But for the rest of us, for the other 97%, it's like that all we're doing on this show is trying to get to a place where you can feel good about yourself.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're doing it through our own self-healing. Like we talked about this last night. We finally had to talk about how we're going to go forward on the podcast. And it that was the thing, is when you first came on, did this one, because you've done my other podcast, but this one, with the first time we had you on, and then you got off, and then like an hour later, oh, I'm sorry, dude. This is a podcast about positivity, and I was negative the whole time. And to
Yeah.
me, that's the thing. And even still, talking last night, you were like, like I don't like we talked about going dark and stuff, and that's the thing, man, is like I want to be able to say, let's reach positivity now. Let's reach fucking feeling good now. But you can't, but that's the thing, is that's something that we would tell ourselves in the 80s and 90s, like, if you're not feeling good, stop feeling like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's bullshit. You can't. You cannot. And even, like outside of a handful of people like the Dalai Lama,
Right.
you can't fucking, dude. Like I said, there's this one dude that I watch on TikTok, and he goes, "If I ask you to stop thinking about monkeys, all you're gonna do is think about monkeys." And that dude I like, because he's like, basically, let the monkeys run for a minute,
Mm-hmm.
and then try to think of something else, and then try to think of something else. Like, how do you? Because really, to me, I think the key to happiness, or the key to feeling good, a lot of the time, is maintaining the present, like
Right.
maintaining the feeling of the present. Because if you're wrapped up in the present, even if something bad is happening, like even if there's an earthquake happening, You're wrapped up in the present. The earth's shaking, shit's falling. You're running. You're not thinking about the bills you're gonna have to pay. You're not thinking about your grandmother dying one day. You're not thinking about the fucking the kid you fucked up emotionally by trying to raise him at a young age. Like you're not thinking about any of that stuff. And I think that's why we love comedy. I think that's like why we love some of the things that we do, because to me, and that's why
Right.
we love sex. Like because you're not feeling any suffering. There's no
Well,
suffering in
it
well,
depends.
I mean
Sometimes there's suffering.
okay.
um yeah, those things, and also it's like you said, it's both sides. It's like, what takes our mind off of ourself? Tragedies, when you're in the middle of a tragedy, a fire, a car wreck, yeah, all those other things that keep your mind busy all the time disappear. But conversely, on the opposite side, when you're experienced, where you're in the, laughing, at a comedy show, or caught up in the thrill of a sporting event, or having sex without suffering, you can drop, your mind can drop all that, and it's because you're now focused. And one of the things I've read is that's why things like meditation really help with therapy, to have them together, because you need to get and I think I mentioned this before, and I've heard this referenced like this before. I don't know where it's from, but your brain's like the chattering monkey. Like you were saying, let the monkeys free. Yeah, sure, let the monkeys roam. The monkeys are running the monkey house, but you need to self-heal,
You
and the
do,
way to do
yes.
that is to quiet your mind down. Like, finding distractions are fine.
Well,
Once
I think
distractions run out.
one of the common things that I've read, because I've read like I think I've read about half a dozen, maybe a few more self-help books that are highly
Wait,
recommended.
wait, Jill O'Reilly. Sometimes the suffering is the fun part.
That's why I love Jello. That's why I love Jello, because he's very funny, probably the funniest person on my fucking on my stream in the chat, and then he makes good points. Sometimes the
Yeah.
suffering, I know something. There's so much truth to that, Jello. There's so much truth to that, because I remember being a kid, and I would purposely find girls to like
Yeah.
that were mean to me, that were not into me. And my friend one
Mhm.
time was like, "Why do you do that? Like why the fuck do you do that?" I'm like, "Because like that momentary feeling of pain and rejection
Yeah.
makes me realize that I'm a human being." And that's something very profound for a fucking 15-year-old thug ass Butch to say,
Hmm.
but it was one of the only, because I think I learned how to block my feelings early on in life. Like I had
Yeah.
some traumatic shit happen to me when I was like 7 years old, like
Oh,
some
yeah.
fucking extremely, like fucked up shit, and I think I learned how to put up blockers right away. Like I think I learned how to not feel, how to not care.
Hmm.
Like
You compartmentalized your feelings.
yeah, I remember seeing homeless people for the first time and realizing that they were homeless and that they were without, and having empathy and compassion, and realizing how awful that felt. I went, never do that again. Never never think about their situation again.
Wow.
And so and after that, what I would do is I would bandage it with anger.
Right.
And I was that typical, like, get a fucking job. Stop coming to me for shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing.
And funny enough, that's the same way you talk to your son.
That's
Get a job, Bobby. Come
when are you
on.
going to work, bro?
Yeah.
But no, and I remember doing that early. And
Yeah.
and and so by the time I was 15, I was already a fucking monster in the way
Yeah.
that I had no feelings for anything. I would see some fucked up shit. I remember seeing a dude get stabbed when I was 15 in the parking lot after 4th of July show. I watched this dude get his fucking throat slashed. And I remember going, that's the life, I guess, because it was a gang hit. You know, and I remember like telling myself that's the life. Bro, I saw someone get their life fucking taken in front of me. You know, and I was able to like put up walls. And one of the things that pain did, that suffering that Jello's talking about was like, oh man, like okay, I'm still a human being. Like,
Mm.
you know, oh, good. I feel pain. I feel suffering. This girl rejected me. She doesn't like me. She made out with me last night, but now she's fucking telling me to go fuck myself. I dig it because I feel pain. And then even after a while, I put up blockers for that, and I started to believe that I was a sociopath. I
Mm.
started to try to convince myself that I was a sociopath. That was
Did
my
people tell? Did anybody tell you that?
no,
Someone say that to you?
no, no, no. Because and I thought about this the
You don't tell a sociopath they're a sociopath.
right,
That's dangerous. You
yeah,
don't go up to
yeah.
the Joker.
But you know
Hey,
what?
Joker, you're a sociopath.
Here's the thing, man. My whole life, I have had certain people, and you're one of them. I've had certain people when I was the biggest monster amongst everybody else say, "You're still a good person. I just want you to know that." You know, and I had Mrs. Worthen, Mrs. Fisher, who were teachers of mine, Mrs. Lewis. Um, man, what was that lady's name? Anyway, like certain teachers, Mr. Allman from my high school, who were like, bro, I know you're trying to be something you're not, but I just want you to know you're a really good person. And I never really, and I would fight that, you know, I would fight that because it's like, no, because if I'm a good person, I have to feel all those fucking feelings. I have to feel all that fucking pain. And I don't want to feel that, you know, and really it was just my way of channeling the pain, you know,
Yeah.
and what I learned through mindfulness so far and through fucking my therapy is that you absorb the pain and then you release it. That's the idea. That's the goal. I think that's the goal for every human is that to absorb the pain, go, man, I feel that, you know, but I can only feel it for so long because I got to move on with my life, you know, and I think the problem is that a lot of human beings are pain collectors. You
Mm.
know, we're like, I feel this pain and now I'm going to hold on to it. And now I'm going to let it affect me because I understand psychology. And I think we're in a new realm here as human beings too because we understand psychology. This is the first time ever in this age right now that we have this grasp on what psychology is and what it does to you. This isn't the
Hmm.
50s where your dad doesn't tell you he loves you. This isn't the 40s where it's like we're just trying to survive. You know, this is now where we're like understanding. And so now when something traumatic happens, we don't go, I'm not going to tell my son I love him. You know, it's like, no, I'm going to rage in a different way, or I'm going to be sad and I'm going to feel the right to be sad because something happened to me and I understand human psychology. So I have to, so I must feel this way. And it's like, no, you don't have to. Because really, in reality, we don't understand psychology. We think we do. We know that it exists now, you know, and I think that's the thing, man. And that's one of the things that book, the way of the peaceful warrior. I don't know if you remember the let it flow and then let it go. Do you
Mm.
remember that?
Hmm.
There's
Hmm.
this scene where this man's restaurant is burning down
Hmm.
and he's already been a student of this guru. So he walks up to his burning restaurant. He screams an ugly scream and he like loses his mind and then he drops to his knees. And he cries for a minute and then he gets up and the character in the book walks over and he's like, "Hey man, are you okay?" And he's like, "Oh, hey Dan. Yeah, I'm good." And he's like he's like, "Sorry about your restaurant." He's like, "Well, these things happen. This is life." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, bro, you were just fucking flipping out right now." And he's like, "Yes, for that moment, I felt the pain and
Yeah.
I felt the anguish and I let it grip me. I let it take it all the way to where it wanted to go with me. And then I released it, you know, and
Yeah.
to me that's my goal. I don't know if that's everybody else's goal, but that's my goal, is how
Right.
to be like that. And I would say I'm about 20-30% effective where like something happens and I'm like, whoo, I'm mad, I am mad, but then like,
Yeah.
you know, and then as soon as I let it, I go, okay man, I just let that do that to me, you
Yeah.
know, and then now I'm fine. I have to let it go for the day, you
Yeah.
know. And like
Well,
today,
I,
go
yeah,
ahead,
go
go ahead.
ahead. Well, I think there's still a big cultural bias against people showing emotions in public a lot. I
Right.
think it's still, you know, um, and I can only speak as a guy, but it's like, you know, the 1950s thing of just like, you know, don't let anybody know how you feel.
Yeah.
I told the story about like my dad, came out of that mold, when he had his first heart attack, major heart attack. He didn't tell anybody for 3 days,
Wow.
and I've realized, and I just realized, and I don't know if I've mentioned this on the show, but I mean, I just realized in the last month, I'm like, oh, I'm him. At first I was like, what? You didn't tell anybody. You need help. You're dying.
Right.
You need to
Right.
tell people. Just
Right.
don't go back to your job. You're just damaging your heart more. And I'll never be like that. Well, let me tell you something, kids. I don't know if you could ever not turn into your parents at a certain degree. I mean, he died in my early 20s. So how could I 30 years later still be like him? It's all genetics, I guess, and environmental upbringing. But I'm trying to get through that. One of and like, to kind of go in a small circle, the thing of like, once you can't go back. It's true. You can't unknow something once you wake up to it, but you can slide back in terms of how
Oh,
you
sure.
physically and emotionally and deal with that. Like, for example, I've spent most of my life like hanging out at hospitals because I know so many people that died.
Right.
And one time I was outside this hospital in Chico and I saw this older guy, older than me, he was in his 60s or something. And he was really upset. He was crying. Now, I wanted to run away from that guy. I wanted to get away from him. I didn't want this guy's, whatever he's going through. It's not what I'm going through. I got my own problems. But I stepped up and I went over to him and I said, hey, are you okay? And he started to, like, one of those things. He's so upset. He started telling me, but then he started crying. And I gave him a hug,
Right.
and it helped him. That's the thing about this vibrating positivity side effect. It might be good for you, but you're really ultimately trying to help other people through
Yeah.
their
No,
stuff.
and that's the thing is like, um, I listened to this lady one time, and she's kind of crazy. So I don't really want to like quote her too much because she's got some weird batshit thing that she's a descendant from aliens, and that's why she channels this wisdom.
Oh,
But
that kind of person.
yeah, and she goes, but she was giving this talk, and this lady gets up and she's like, I don't understand what's going on in my life. This is happening bad. This is happening bad. This is happening bad, and this happened. And the lady goes, well, have you, and she didn't even say like, I don't understand why all these things are happening bad. It's just she started to say, nothing but bad happens in my life, and the lady goes, well, do you have anything positive to say? And it was like, well, at least I'm not doing this, or at least I'm doing that. And she goes, so those are still negative things. Like if you notice, your whole trend is negativity. And
Mm,
and 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 what she said is that you vibrate negatively. So as you're
hmm.
vibrating negatively, you're attracting these negative things, which sounds crazy. Then she starts to talk about vibrating positively. If you're vibrating positively, you attract positive things. Now, when I heard that, I started to practice that right away because it did make sense to me in a weird
Hmm.
way. And I don't know if it's esoteric or if it's like fucking what do you call it, supernatural,
Yeah,
or if it
metaphysical.
or metaphysical, or it could be actual science, that if you're a nice person and you're smiling and you're positive, you meet another person that is smiling and acting nice and is positive, and then that goes on, and so I started to practice that. And what started to happen is that I started meeting new friends, and I started getting more gigs, and I
Hmm.
started and I started to have prosperous moments that I never had before. And now I'm just now, because I believe in that, now trying to transition into that, but I am fighting uh decades of indoctrination of
Right.
like fucking like, no, you're supposed to feel this way because you're a man, because you're
Right.
and because you're a man in American society, and you're a survivor, and you're blah blah blah, or look at you, you're macho, and you need these tattoos, and you need to be you need to stand up, and don't ever cry, don't ever let them see you cry, and that's the thing, man, is like, so um I do believe in that. I do believe in the power of positive energy, and that you also are helping other people, man. Like when people go, "Hey, man," I've had people tell me, like, when you smile at me, it makes me feel good. Like
Mm.
I love watching you smile. And like just random friends, said that.
Right.
And it's like, or
Well,
sometimes people are like, I see you with Bobby and it makes me feel good, because I see
right.
how happy you are. And
Well, there's a couple of parts to that. And, one is, you don't want to victimize victims. Someone has a horrible life and you just go, man, you must be a really negative person.
right.
Look how shitty your life is. So that doesn't work. But if you're a person who becomes aware of the fact that you're just surrounded by what's called toxicity, toxic people. You're
Mhm.
surrounded by your circle of friends or family, always just telling you that you're a failure, never seeing anything good in you, just reinforcing this own thing you tell yourself. You need to step away from that circle. It's tough if it's your family. It's tough if it's your friends. I mean, I'm not putting words into Butch's mouth, but
No, that
Butch had to step back from
um
where he was before he can move forward.
I
True?
yes, very true. Very true. I had a follower on Twitch, and I I wish he was here right now. But he and I don't think he'd mind me saying, Spooky Dad was came on our channel, and we talk about positivity and vibrating positively. In fact, the other word for Escabros is positive vibrators, because we're all positive vibrators. And someone was asking earlier, what's a digi hug? We give out digi hugs here. That's a digi hug right there. If you're watching on, I think, oh no, it's on everything. That is a digi hug. This is a microphone hug. We give hugs here when people ask for them. So anybody feel free to ask. But the thing is getting
I
back.
didn't see oh, there we go. I see. I saw it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those are cool, the digi hugs.
Yeah, and that was the
Is
thing.
that you? Oh, you are like that guy from Monster
Yeah, that's why
Incorporated.
I did that. Cause
I get it.
but
Monster Inc.
that's the thing, man, is like what were we talking about as far as like I spun off there.
Positive vibrations,
Positive vibration.
separating yourself from the things
Oh
that
yes.
reinforce
So
negative
Spooky Dad
thoughts in your
was
head.
like, I live with my uncle, my mom, and my dad. And they are very and this person was going through some pretty life-changing stuff, I imagine. And they were like, they're very critical of who I am and what I do. I want to move away. I have an opportunity to move to Portland. And I was like, look, man, some of the hardest things to do are separate yourself from people. Me and you have a mutual friend that I love with all my heart. And he moved away. And he was a very negative, toxic person to me, and not being his friend was a choice that I made. And I didn't go, I'm not going to be your friend, I don't like the way you are. I just backed off, and I just stopped talking to this person because they were, every time I would talk to them, they were like, I hate this, or I don't like that, and this, can you imagine this person, and blah, blah. And I started to do this. And one of the things that I learned from Ian Kung, who's a comic and a video person, a YouTube
He-
person.
He's an
He's
influencer.
an influencer, and
Yeah.
he had this guy that he was kind of competing with. And
Hmm.
this made me hang up and cry. Okay, I'd gotten out of my therapist's office. I had talked about trying not to be hateful, not to be angry. I can't stop feeling angry at my friends for being successful, and I can't stop being jealous. And so
Hmm.
I call him when I get out, and I go, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he goes, "Man, I made a video today, and then this other guy that I compete with made a video, and he crushed me today, And then he got a deal on fucking big huge TV channel,
Ian did?
No, the guy that
The
crushed
other
Ian.
guy.
And I
Mhm.
said, fuck that guy, bro. That guy ain't doing. And I started to go in, and I said, these are all the reasons why to not like this guy. And he goes, don't do that, bro. He's all, that's what we do as comedians. He's all, as we sit there and we hate on people and we get mad and we find a way to justify why we don't like them. Dude,
Mhm.
he's all, that doesn't happen in the video world. Like, I'm happy for that guy. I'm happy he's my friend and I'm cool with him and I'm happy for him. And when I do well, he's happy for me. Don't be like that. He's doing all the right things. He deserves what he gets, and it's just that. And it's okay to feel bad about it, but it's not okay to feel angry.
Ian, with your well-adjusted self-confidence, what the
Yeah.
hell, man?
Yeah, well,
You know what I
he's,
mean? He's a
yeah.
good-looking young guy who's like, I mean, come on, Ian, take it easy.
And I remember, and I was like, all right, man, you're right, dude, you're right. And I go, hey, let me call you back because I was already crumbling,
Yeah,
because I had built it, and it was that, and what was crumbling was that huge wall that I had
yeah,
built up with hate and anger and toxicity.
right.
And it was like, bro, it was like an epiphany. Like
Mm,
overnight, it was like, oh man, I can't think like that anymore.
right.
I
I
can't.
got I got to be devil's advocate for 1 second, and I'm
Yeah.
with you 100%. But I gotta say, unique to the field of comedy,
Mm-hmm.
shitting on everyone around you actually is like shallow in training, is like Wu-Tang training to be that guy on stage so you can handle your business, that you become good at insulting people and tearing them down.
Right.
So when that heckler's in your face, you're
I'll
armed.
be
And,
honest. I'll be honest with you.
yeah.
I
And,
was.
maybe that's a what is it, a maybe that's a I'm rationalizing negative behavior.
Well, yeah, and you are in a way, but for the right reasons though. For the right reasons,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you why. I was afraid to actually get help. I knew that I needed therapy when my mom died eight,
Mm,
9 years ago.
I remember that.
I knew I needed therapy when my divorce happened.
Mm,
Like I knew for a long time, but I was like, if I go to therapy and I change, I'm not going to be a good comic anymore
mm,
because what I'm trying to get rid of is my anger. And if
mm-hmm,
I get rid of my anger, if anybody who's ever watched me, my fury is part of my funny. Like I'm fucking angry about shit. And
mm-hmm,
and and it got to the point where it was like, if I don't go see a therapist, I am going to die by my own hands. And
mm-hmm,
so I went and seeked a therapist and I started to feel better. And I've learned some mindfulness techniques to help me stay calm and to
mm-hmm,
not be hateful and to not be angry. And I've taught myself to vibrate positively, and I'm 70% still rotten. I'm 30% better, like, so I'm not sitting here preaching or anything or saying, look at me. But what I
mm-hmm,
am saying is like, I've made some improvements, and I'll tell you what it does is that so there's this rotten inside of all of us.
mm-hmm,
There's this shitty, hateful fucking person in all of us. And in a scale of this to this, he was taking up all the room. And then what
mm-hmm,
I slowly have done is I've pushed him back to here. But all
mm-hmm,
that energy's still in there. All
mm-hmm,
that fucking anger is still in there. Now, some people go out and they learn Muay Thai fighting. Some people go to the gym and pump iron. Some people draw. Some people do Legos. I do comedy, and
mm-hmm,
and 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 it's work, and it works because it's conducive. So now when I get up, I'm more furious. I'm more angry because it's
mm-hmm.
still there. Like I can't
Yeah,
help but notice the things that I notice and go, "That's fucking stupid," you
right,
know. And I can't still help but look at it and be angry about how fucking stupid it is.
right. But it's
So
not destroying you.
no,
You've
no,
learned to channel it.
I,
It's who
yes,
you are.
it's who I
I mean,
am.
that's that we need that. I need that guy on stage who's so infuriated about how ridiculous something is that it just makes me laugh
Yeah,
about it.
and it's still
Yeah.
there. And I was there last night and the night before, and I was there last weekend. And that's the thing, man. Is like I'm way better because now I've learned to channel my anger a
Wait,
lot.
I'm sorry. What do you mean you were there last night?
I mean,
Mhm.
I did a comedy show not last night, the night before.
All right.
And I did a comedy show last weekend, is what I'm saying. And
Right,
I
right,
was
right.
there where I was able to channel my anger. The
Yeah.
thing is, man, is because I'm learning to channel my emotions better.
Hmm.
It's almost like now I could summon the anger, and it
Mm.
wasn't hard to summon before, but now it's like I have it, like it's fucking, it's like it's in a nice fucking, it's concentrated. It's a nice
Yeah.
concentrated
Compressed.
cube of compressed anger, and it's like,
Hmm.
"Ugh," and it's like, um, man, I love human beings. I love all
Yeah.
of you, man. I love all the people that are watching. I love all the people that are gonna
Yeah.
watch later. I love all the people that are
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah.
I love all the people that don't even like me. I love you because we're human beings, because we're one part of this planet. We're not separate parts of this planet. We're
Right.
one single organism. We are supposed to love each other. If you just look at love, the benefits of love versus the benefits of hate, I argue that almost every human being would say that the benefits of love way outweigh insanely the benefits of hate. Okay, so
Hmm.
if we know that, then I that's why I love you, not because you're doing great things, not because you're wonderful people. I love you because you are me and I am you, and I love and then that way I love myself. Okay, um, but in saying all that, you fucking drive me nuts with your vegan lifestyle, your fucking
Getting personal.
your fucking yeah, exactly. Your fucking like your workouts and your fucking Instagram and your
Sure.
fucking and look at my food and look at what and like fucking I'm mad about trivial things like fucking bathrooms that fucking and
Yeah.
I'm still mad. Like I'm
Yeah.
mad at you. I
So you
love
didn't. So
you.
you were afraid that you'd lose that if you got better, if you went to therapy, if you got healed. You're afraid that you would lose who you are,
Right.
which is not what therapy it is. It just makes you a better version of who
You
you
want to
are.
makes it what makes it more furious is that I can't hate you now. Hating was a nice conduit to go, okay, I don't
Oh, we
like
just
you.
got a party of 31.
Jakey Boy Arts! Oh shit. Hold on, let me do this real quick. Thank you, Jakey Boy Arts, for coming in with a fucking fabulous rate of 31 fine human beings.
Hey, you're watching This Isn't Working with Butch Escobar DNA every Tuesday at 2, talking about comedy and mental health. They go together.
Yeah, of course they go together because my mental health is why I'm a fucking comic.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Um,
Oh, naked squatch, naked Sasquatch.
I love it. Naked Squatch. Oh shit.
I got some of that.
Naked
Uh,
Squatch. Thanks for the follow, my boy. Thank you so much. Yeah, man. That's the thing, is that now because it was easy to go, I don't like what you do, so I hate you. There's the final. Okay, there's some
yeah.
closure there because, well, I don't have to deal with it because I hate him.
Hmm.
But now I prevent myself from being hateful. I prevent myself from like
The
there's
part of that is you made changes in your life.
right, but
Like we were saying earlier, don't surround yourself with those people that shit on you and tear you
yeah,
down. They're not your friends.
being around,
And it's
yes,
tough, to step away from that. Like I said, you were the king of online, shitting on people.
right, yeah.
And, yeah, you were good at it, but like it wasn't helping you in your mind. It was making you
It
miserable.
wasn't
So
helping me in real life, and it wasn't helping me
yeah,
in my mind. But it was
neither.
giving me
So yeah.
closure to not like I'm like you. What you do is make me angry. What you're doing is making me, and that's the thing, man. Is that and just to catch some people up who are walking in here, um, we're talking about channeling your anger and hatred right now, or at least that I was, and it's like because uh, if you have a fucking passion, if you're a clay molder, put your energy into that. Like if you're whatever you want to do, instead of being angry and hateful, because you're not going to get rid of those feelings. I don't think you're going to get rid of. You can get rid of hateful, But anger, I can't, bro. I can't get over sometimes that this dumb motherfucker got a fucking put on a TV show, or he got an interview, or this happened and he's not even as funny as I am, and
Or all that.
right, or like, why are fucking Republicans fucking uh getting upset over who uses their bathrooms, like, why are we dealing with these trivial, like, I'm not going to get rid of those feelings.
No.
I can go, bro, don't hate these people. Don't
You know,
hate.
like a thing, that is a key, is that anger and depression are closely linked. And so I'll be angry a lot. My therapist, she'll be like, it's better than being depressed. And 100%. Like
Right.
when I'm depressed, I got no energy. I got no motivation. I don't want to do anything. Maybe I have ideas, but I'm dragging my feet because I just can't do it. But then when I get angry, wow, it's kind of intoxicating. I got all this new energy. And so anger is not a bad thing. I mean, during the BLM protests, or you see anger can change things,
No,
but
anger is
like,
not a bad thing. Anger can
but
be
like
a
Butch,
great
Butch
thing.
is saying, once you have to focus it, you got to compress it and
And that's the
make
thing.
it your own
And
and
that's the
not let
thing,
it
man.
dominate your whole life.
If you have a righteous anger, if you have a righteous anger, if you and if you are angry, like yeah, dude, don't fucking find love for cops shooting fucking innocent black people right now. Be angry at them. Be angry at them. Don't be hateful, because that's what the evil wants you to be, is hateful. But be fucking angry and go out there and protest and go out there and push for different laws. Go out there and run for office. Go fucking put money into something. Go work hard to make money so you can put it into that. You
That's
know,
all. And those are all pieces of revolution. It's,
right.
people think that there's going to be this huge change coming through revolution and it
No.
all happened in one night, and it
No.
doesn't.
No.
And to go back to something I said way earlier, is the way that you are held down by being an active participant in this is your brain is shackled. So yeah, sure, you watch a documentary, you got one chain off your head, that's great. Don't focus on the chain, just keep going, and if you are feeling like you don't know what to do, I think Butch had a good insight earlier, which for him and also for me, he found a book. It can be all kinds of things that inspire you to kind of like change the way things are for yourself, and make the commitment to yourself that you don't want to be so, for me, it's depressed.
Right.
Depression is no good for me. It does. There's nothing. The only thing that good comes out of it is that I get out of it, and
But
then I feel better because I'm not in it.
where do you think your depression draws from? Like, when you try to dig to the root of it, like
Ugh,
when
I mean, it
like
gets a little psychological,
is
but
it chemical, or is it shit that happened to me?
quick answer. Part of it is that I have the audio processing disorder. So
Right.
my brain doesn't process information like most people's brains. And so growing up, I was
Mm.
always a little bit out of step with everybody, which sucks socially because, they're like, oh, you're retarded or you're stupid, or you're lame. And it's like, I'm being the best I can. I don't understand why my brain, I would think everyone's brain's like mine, but I seem to be different. Didn't understand it until 3 years ago when I got diagnosed, and put my whole life in perspective. But I went through 5 decades of always not feeling like I ever fit in, ever. And that's part of it. And that makes you, when you feel like you don't fit in all the time,
Oh
that
man.
makes you feel depressed. You're like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Like, I would
No.
always be like, what's wrong with me? And I never could figure it
Let
out.
me
So
let me ask you this: do you go to a point of, because I guilty of this? Do you go to a point of, I don't, like, you start out as like not feeling welcome by certain people. Like, this is my evolution in Bay Area comedy. When I got here, I felt like certain people didn't like me. And as I moved along, I realized I was different than a lot of these fucking Bay Area hippie types, and then I felt like all of them didn't like me. And then I went to assuming all of them didn't like me. And then I just was like, oh, you know what we're going to do now? I'm going to say it's safe to say just go with no one likes you. And when they say you like you, they like you. Don't believe them, but feel good about it for a moment. You know,
Yeah.
like, do you take it there?
Oh, yeah.
Like, is
I
that?
mean,
I mean, do you go from like a few people don't like me to a lot of people, and then you know what? I'm just gonna fucking go with nobody likes me.
yeah. Well, I got, one good thing about being older. I mean, my birthday's this weekend. I'm pushing 60. So I'm gonna have like 5 decades of coping mechanisms. So certainly for a long time, I just thought everybody hated me because whatever, I didn't know why. That's what was frustrating. And that's what made me depressed or anxious.
Right,
But I've learned, especially over the last 10 years or so, that I need to be more vulnerable. I need to break down these walls like we talked about earlier and just be me, even if I feel like, I mean, I you know how much I wanted to go to sketch fest parties after one of the, if you're not from around here, one of the greatest comedy festivals in the world in the Bay Area, Sketch Fest. And I got in it a couple of times, and then there was parties. And
right.
this is, in the last 10 years, I wanted to go so bad. But my anxiety starts, all my old memories and patterns of being depressed and socially awkward comes into play. I'm like, I can't go. I can't go. I can't. And I
Yeah,
literally freak out. So even
yeah.
though I'm much older and I have developed coping mechanisms, I still get triggered and it throws me back shoots and ladders style to square one.
I feel you on that, especially. Um, One of the reasons why I never got dressed up for Halloween as a kid, and I never dress up now, and I hate it when I'm in a play or I'm in a TV show or something and I have to wear a costume, is that I'm wearing a costume and I
Mm,
could feel it. Like I could feel the costume. You know, like when I wear a suit to a fucking funeral or to a wedding, which I vow never to do ever again, is that I feel like a gorilla in a fucking suit.
mm,
And that is the feeling that I have when I go to those parties. Like and people are nice and they're like, "Hey," and I'm like, "I don't belong here. I don't belong here." I force myself to go to those parties because I got, and that's the thing is that I wanted to go to those parties. I was
mm,
mad that I didn't get to go to those parties when I got denied all the other times. I was
mm-hmm.
mad and bitter, and then I finally get this fucking sweet gig, this festival, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not. I sat in the corner all night on one of them, dude, and I made
Mm,
myself sit there. But I didn't
mm-hmm.
mingle. I didn't fucking like. I remember fucking.
And that's it's one
Yeah.
thing I just want to say to our viewers, wherever you're watching from or tuning into, if you are going through a difficult time right now, me and Butch, we're not professionals. We're
No.
just trying to give you our stories and, advice, take it or don't. But just take note, man. Like you watching, I'm a fan of Butch's. And so like when I hear like it's like when you hear like you see some supermodel. I've seen this before, and I can't remember who it was, but there's a supermodel, and she was just like, I think I'm ugly. Like she still saw herself as an ugly person because she never worked through whatever trauma she had her whole life, even though she was whatever, one of the 10 most whatever.
Right.
But like Butch, like I would look like I've always, whenever I've been around Butch, people gather around Butch. People come to Butch. That I don't have that. People do not circle around me,
Yeah.
but what she does. So to me, like I'm learning. Like to me, it's really interesting to hear that that's the way you feel about parties still. Like,
Oh, bro. Like that's the thing is, I think I was telling. I had my therapy today, And my girlfriend, I was telling her an instance where my girlfriend was like, I was explaining something to my girlfriend because she was like, I was telling her I have like severe imposter syndrome. And she's
Mm,
like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "I don't feel I'm accomplished. I don't feel like I've done anything with my life, and I feel like as sooner or later people are gonna realize I have nothing to offer, and that I
mm,
don't have. I'm not a real comic. Like I don't write material down. I don't fucking sit there and work on jokes. Like I just go off and do my thing, and at some point I might run out." And she's like. But I don't think. And she goes, "But you're funny. You're funny right now." I'm like, "But I don't. I don't know if I really am." Like, and I started explaining that like when I was a kid I would get bullied and told I was ugly and I looked in the mirror and I thought I was ugly and I'd come home and my mom would be like, "But you're my handsome little man. You're handsome. You're a good
mm.
looking kid. Look at you. You're fat. You're and it was like, and I knew she was lying because she lied to me about Santa Claus, said he was real, you know?
Mm,
And I was like, dude, they lie to you. And Becca started laughing. She's like, wait a minute. You think you think you're going overseas and working for the military and you think you're getting booked as a headliner on shows because people just want to make you feel better about yourself?
yeah, right.
And
It's all big. It's like the Truman Show, where you're
yeah.
like Jim Carrey. We've developed this entire universe just to make Butch feel good
And
about
that's
himself.
exactly what she pointed out. She's like, I hate to point this out, but that's a very selfish way to think because it's about you. And she's
Hmm.
like, no, dude, people like you because you're you. People laugh at you because you're funny. People go
Hmm.
to see you because they like watching you perform. People laugh and say nice things to you after the show and Booker's bookie because you're doing well. And so,
Hmm.
like, but I'm like, man, like, I still, and I know this now, and I know this fundamentally, and I think that's the thing, man, is that it's not purposely on being selfish,
Hmm.
but it is a form of being selfish where you're like, it is, dude, like these people, and you have,
I mean, look, we're we're flesh and blood caught in gravity on this planet. We need air. We need food. We need shelter. Like those things are real. Like
right,
that is you. You can't not nourish yourself in certain ways and
sure,
still exist on the planet. But I think in the bigger scope of today's episode, it's like vibrating positively has a lot to do about it not being about you, but being about other people, and being in service to other people and helping other people so you can forget about yourself for a minute and be yourself.
that is a really great, um, like, observation to me, is that it isn't about you when you vibrate positively. Yes, it makes you feel better and it helps you to have a better life. But as you smile and be happy around other people and you bring the light to them, you're helping them. Like that's the thing, man. And that's why I started to do this channel because it was like, I'm feeling better, man. Like I remember 4 years ago standing on the BART platform, which is our subway here in the Bay Area, and going, bro, that train that has the not service light, it doesn't stop. And when it goes by, all you got to do is just take one more step. And I went from there and I was like, and that's when I was like, man, I need to get help. I fucking need to get help because I was greatly considering it. And that's
Mm,
when I started to look for help. And that's when I started, and I didn't know that my therapist was a mindfulness practitioner. I just took whatever they
mm,
threw at me. It's my fucking Obamacare here in the Bay Area. And it ended up being a mindfulness practitioner. At the same time, I was smoking a joint in a hotel, fucking feeling lonely. I'm taking a shit, and my phone's dead. So I pull out. It was like a shitty motel, bro.
mhm,
It had the Book of Buddha, the Quran, and the Bible.
mm,
And so I grabbed the Book of Buddha because I felt like it was the most least not judgmental, and I just needed something to read because I need to read shit when I'm taking a shit. And I read this shit that just blows my mind. And I go to
mm,
this fucking therapist, and and I see this little Buddha thing over there, and this little fucking meditation bowl in the corner. I don't think nothing of it. It's Berkeley. And I go
mhm,
on with my therapy, and almost about 6 months in, I realize this is what mindfulness is. And otherwise, had you brought it to me and said, "Hey, Butch, eat some mindfulness," I'd be like, "Fuck no." It's like beef
Mhm.
tongue. My mom knew in a million years I would never eat beef tongue. So she just walked over and said, "Eat this taco." And I was like, "This is amazing. What is it?" And she's like, "It's beef tongue." You know? And so
Right.
I'm starting to feel better. And for me,
Yeah.
this is my service, man, because I feel bad that I'm a comic. I'm a self-serving person in that way. My parents were all activists, and my everybody in my family works for does their civic duty. They have jobs as like police officers or counselors or whatever, and here's Butch going off following his dream, his dumb fucking dream. So I felt like, what am I gonna do, man? I'm feeling better. My anxiety's still there. My depression's still there. It's never going to go away.
Yeah.
But how do I pass on the few keys that I have to at least alleviate yourself from not wanting to be yourself?
Mhm.
Because dang, dude, when I think about that, it almost makes me cry
Mhm.
because I didn't like myself that much that I wanted to fucking literally murder myself. Like I'm not there no more and I'm happy. And I find happiness, and I find happiness in my girlfriend's eyes. I find happiness in a good drive and hanging out with my kid and looking at him and watching him smile, or listening to him tell me he loves me or something like that.
Mhm.
Find happiness in all the little things because there's so much drama in this world. There's so much sadness. Why contribute to it? Like one
Yeah.
of the new things I'm doing now, bro, is I'm no longer putting up shitty things on Facebook, and I'm no
Mhm.
longer making shitty comments to people even
Mhm.
the ones that deserve it. I'm gonna try to be more positive because there's already enough people informing people that Donald Trump's a bad guy and
Mhm.
and fucking that we need to fucking chill on how we treat the earth. There's already
Right.
people doing that. And there's a lot of people and I am so grateful for them. But for me, I feel like if I just vibrate a little bit positively, dude, maybe I'll just pass it on, you
I
know?
like it. And I would say if you're watching like last week, my thing, homework, like if you're struggling, it's just dark, you can't figure out a way out of your own head, circumstances just weighing on you and dragging you down. Last week what we came up with was just do one thing, just change one thing in your life. Just you haven't sat on your steps of your apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, go sit on the step, look outside, just sit there and do that. Do one thing. It could be the simplest thing. And this week, I think if you listen to what Butch was saying today, he had moments of epiphany. He had moments where, those shackles and chains came down and he was able to see clearly. And um, so for next week, look around. What's the Yeah, maybe all you see is negativity around you, but I'm telling you, there's something around you that makes you feel better. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a cat, maybe it's a rainbow, maybe you like trees, maybe it's just some music or something. Find that thing that makes you feel good about yourself, because that's that little spark inside your head.
Yeah,
Even though it's
dude.
totally dark,
Yeah.
get that spark, you blow on it, you put some dry leaves on it, try to get it a little bit brighter. So that's what I got for you.
Yes. That's okay. So that's homework right there.
Yeah.
I like homework. I like that homework. Yeah. I think for me, I'm gonna go on a walk every day for this week. Just to walk around the block.
Yeah.
No big deal. I'm not gonna try to put miles down and lose weight and none of that shit. I'm just gonna appreciate the landscape. One of the most
Yeah.
one of the things I do love about living in Berkeley is how beautiful it is out here. So I think I'm gonna try to go out there and appreciate that more. Um
All right. You got anything you're promoting
Uh,
coming up?
um, I mean, oh yeah, maybe I do have actually, cause it's fucking Twitch now. Before I'd be like, I don't know if I got anybody out there in Lexington, Virginia, I think it is. Right there across the Potomac from where it all goes down. I'm going to be. Oh man, I do this all the time. DNA. I do.
What club it is?
Yeah. Do you remember what club it was? Um,
Lexington, Virginia.
Alexandria. Sorry. Nope.
All right.
I keep saying Lexington like an idiot. Alexandria, Virginia at the Birchmere Music Hall, April 30th and May 1st. With my man Felipe Esparza. And then I'm gonna be in San Jose on the 17th at a smoke session. Weird thing, look up the Birdman on Facebook. He's got tickets. Fucking my man the Birdman holding it down, or find him on Instagram. It's some smoke session. There's gonna be weed vendors, there's gonna be weed people. It's a weed event, so don't bring your fucking kids. And May 2nd, I am in Richmond, and there'll be further details for that. Richmond, California. So that's mine. What do you got?
I still got my Wednesday, Thursday shows. Wednesday, if you want to watch, it's free. Only on Facebook. Sorry, Twitch. I should do Twitch. I haven't figured it out, but on Facebook, DNA. I'm DNA. DNA's Comedy Lab. We do this show at 8 o'clock on Wednesday called Blind Tiger. It's comedy, magic, and a puppet. And this week, Joseph Anilin is our headliner.
Oh, great fucking killer.
Broseph.
Fucking
And
Broseph
then
Allen. Love him. Love that
on
man.
Thursday, we do same place, DNA's Comedy Lab on Facebook, 8 p.m. It's free. We do a storytelling show we've been doing for over a year now. And the theme this week is regrets. And our featured storyteller is Chad Opitz, and it's gonna be a good show. And other than that, hit me up. I'll come play your backyard.
Let's do it. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outdoor.
We just want to work.
Spring is here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everybody.
All right. Thank you,
Twitch.
everybody.
Thanks Facebook. Thanks YouTube.
Yep. All right.